My child, before the foundations of the earth were laid, before the oceans knew their boundaries, and before the stars were called by name, I knew you. Before your mother felt your first movement in her womb, before anyone spoke your name, I had already written purpose into your being. You were not an accident. You were not an afterthought. You were not a mistake of timing, of circumstance, or of human decision. You were created by my hand, formed with intention, and sent into this world carrying destiny within your soul. From the very beginning, I declared truth over humanity. In Genesis, it is written that I created mankind in my image. That includes you. You carry my imprint. You reflect my creativity, my capacity to love, my ability to choose, to build, to restore, to forgive. The breath in your lungs is my gift. The mind that thinks, the heart that feels, the hands that work, none of it is random. Every part of you has meaning. There are days when you feel small. There are nights when you question why you are here. You compare yourself to others and wonder why your path looks different. You see their talents, their platforms, their recognition, and you think your life is less significant. But my child, purpose is not measured by applause. It is not defined by followers, titles, or wealth. Purpose is defined by obedience to my voice and alignment with my will. When I formed you, I placed within you seeds, gifts, passions, burdens, dreams. Some of them are already visible. Others are still hidden beneath the soil of your life, waiting for the right season. Do not despise the season of growth. Even a seed must remain unseen before it breaks through the ground. Even roots must grow deep before branches can stretch wide. I know you have faced disappointments. Doors closed. Relationships ended. Plans fell apart. You thought certain opportunities were your destiny, and when they disappeared, you felt lost. But hear me clearly. What left your life was not your purpose. What closed was not your calling. I remove what would distract you from the path I have prepared. Sometimes protection feels like rejection. Sometimes redirection feels like delay. But I am always working. In Jeremiah, I declared, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Those words were not only for a nation long ago, they reveal my heart toward all my children. I am not guessing about your life. I am not experimenting with your future. I know the end from the beginning. You may not see the full picture. You see a chapter. I see the entire story. You see a problem. I see the breakthrough that will rise from it. You see weakness. I see the place where my strength will shine through you. Do not judge your purpose by your present struggle. Many of the ones I used most powerfully first walked through seasons of confusion and hardship. Look at Joseph. He dreamed dreams from me, yet he was betrayed by his brothers and thrown into a pit. He was sold, falsely accused, and imprisoned. For years, nothing about his circumstances looked like purpose, yet every step, even the painful ones, positioned him for the palace. What others meant for evil, I turned for good. His suffering became the pathway to saving many lives. So it is with you. I waste nothing. Not your tears. Not your failures. Not your waiting. You were created for more than survival. You were created for impact. I did not place you on this earth merely to exist, to wake up, work, eat, sleep, and repeat. There is a calling woven into your days. There are people you are meant to encourage, problems you are meant to solve, light you are meant to shine. Even your story, yes, especially the broken parts, will become a testimony that strengthens someone else. In Ephesians, it is written that you are my workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which I prepared beforehand that you should walk in them. Do you understand what that means? Before you ever took your first breath, I prepared works for you. I prepared moments for you to step into. I prepared conversations where your words would carry healing. I prepared assignments that only you, with your specific personality and experiences, could fulfill. Stop wishing to be someone else. Stop trying to trade your calling for another's. The world does not need another copy. It needs the original design I created in you. Your voice matters. Your compassion matters. Your resilience matters. Even your sensitivity, which you sometimes see as weakness, is often the very thing that allows you to understand others deeply. You ask me, Lord, what is my purpose? And sometimes you expect a thunderous answer, a dramatic sign, a detailed blueprint for the next 20 years. But often, purpose unfolds through daily obedience. It begins with loving well. It begins with forgiving. It begins with showing integrity when no one is watching. It begins with using the small opportunities in front of you faithfully. Remember the parable I spoke about the talents in Matthew. Each servant received according to his ability. The one who multiplied what he was given was entrusted with more. Purpose grows as you steward what is already in your hands. Do not bury your gift because it seems small. Do not compare your one talent to someone else's 5. What I ask of you is faithfulness, not comparison. There will be seasons when your purpose feels unclear. In those moments, draw near to me. Spend time in my presence. When you quiet your heart, I whisper direction. When you surrender your plans, I align them with mine. I do not hide your purpose to frustrate you. I reveal it step by step so that you will walk by faith and not by sight. Some of you listening carry guilt from past mistakes. You think you have disqualified yourself. You believe your wrong choices have canceled your destiny. But my mercy is greater than your failure. When you turn back to me, I restore. I redeem lost time. I weave even your mistakes into a testimony of grace. Look at Peter. He denied me 3 times, yet I restored him and used him to build my church. Your setback is not your final sentence. You were created for relationship with me first. Purpose flows from intimacy. When you know me, you begin to understand who you are. The more you see my heart, the more you reflect it in the world. Do not chase purpose while neglecting my presence. In my presence, clarity grows. In my presence, courage rises. In my presence, identity is secured. There are battles around you, and sometimes within you. Doubt whispers that you are insignificant. Fear tells you to play small. The enemy tries to convince you that your life does not matter. But I say to you, your life is a gift to this generation. The darkness would not fight you so hard if you carried nothing valuable. The pressure you feel is often proof of the treasure within you. When I called Moses, he argued with me. He spoke of his limitations. He focused on his speech, his past, his insecurity. Yet I was not asking him to rely on himself. I was asking him to trust me. I do not call the qualified. I qualify the called. If I have placed something in your heart, do not let your weakness silence it. My strength is made perfect in weakness. You were created for a purpose that extends beyond what you can see right now. Some of you will lead in visible ways. Others will serve quietly behind the scenes. Some will speak to crowds. Others will pour into 1 or 2 lives deeply. Do not measure significance by visibility. Heaven celebrates obedience, not popularity. Even in your workplace, in your home, in your daily routines, purpose is present. When you act with integrity in business, you reveal my character. When you show patience with your children, you mirror my love. When you choose kindness over bitterness, you display my heart. There is no area of your life that is outside my ability to use. I have placed dreams in you that seem bigger than your current reality. Do not abandon them simply because they intimidate you. If the dream aligns with my heart, nurture it in prayer. Prepare in hidden places. Growth often happens in silence before it is seen in public. David tended sheep before he wore a crown. What seemed like an ordinary field became the training ground for a king. In Psalm, it is written that I knit you together in your mother's womb, and that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. That is not poetic exaggeration. It is divine truth. I carefully crafted your temperament, your abilities, even the challenges that would shape your compassion. Nothing about you is random. You may feel behind. You may think others are ahead. But I am not bound by your timeline. I move in seasons. There is a time to plant and a time to harvest. There is a time to learn and a time to lead. Trust my timing. What I have spoken over your life will not return void. Your purpose is not just about what you do. It is about who you become. I am shaping your character through every experience. Patience is formed in waiting. Perseverance is forged in difficulty. Compassion is birthed through pain. As I refine you, I prepare you. Do not be discouraged if the road feels narrow. Often, the path to purpose requires surrender. It requires letting go of pride, letting go of resentment, letting go of the need to control outcomes. When you release your grip, you make room for my guidance. You were created to shine, my light, in a world that often feels dark. Even a small candle changes the atmosphere of a room. You do not need to be the sun to make a difference. Simply reflect me where you are. Speak truth with love. Act justly. Walk humbly. Trust boldly. When you fall, rise again. When you doubt, come to me. When you feel unseen, remember that I see you. I see the quiet sacrifices. I see the prayers whispered in secret. I see the tears you hide from others. None of it is wasted. I am working behind the scenes in ways you cannot yet imagine. One day, you will look back and understand how every piece fit together. The detours, the delays, the doors that closed, they were not random. They were part of a greater design, and you will see that I was faithful in every season. My beloved child, you were created for a purpose that cannot be stolen by fear, cancelled by failure, or destroyed by delay. Walk forward with confidence, not in yourself alone, but in me who called you. I am the author of your story. I am the one who equips you. I am the one who walks beside you. So rise each morning with hope. Speak life over yourself. Refuse to agree with voices that diminish your worth. Seek me, trust me, obey me, and watch how I unfold destiny through your ordinary days. You were created for a purpose, and as long as you have breath in your lungs, that purpose is still alive. And my child, because your purpose is alive, the enemy will try to distract you from it. He will attempt to fill your mind with noise so you cannot hear my whisper. He will try to keep you busy but not fruitful, active but not aligned, striving but not surrendered. But I am calling you back to focus. I am calling you back to the secret place where identity is restored and vision is renewed. You must understand that purpose is not something you chase in anxiety. It is something you walk into in trust. When you run ahead of me, you grow weary. When you lag behind in fear, you grow stagnant. But when you walk with me, step by step, there is peace, even in uncertainty. I am not only concerned with where you are going, I am deeply concerned with who you are becoming along the way. There are moments when you feel hidden. You look at your life and wonder why it seems unnoticed, uncelebrated, unseen. But hidden seasons are holy seasons. In hiddenness, roots grow strong. In hiddenness, motives are purified. In hiddenness, you learn to serve for my glory rather than human praise. Even my son, Jesus Christ, spent years in obscurity before stepping into public ministry. 30 years of preparation preceded 3 years of visible impact. Never despise preparation. Some of you are frustrated because you sense a calling inside you, yet the doors have not opened. You feel the fire, but you do not see the platform. Listen carefully. The platform is not your purpose. Obedience is. If I open a door too soon, it may crush you instead of elevate you. If I expose you before you are ready, it may harm you instead of bless you. Trust that my delays are not denials. They are protection and preparation intertwined. You were not created to imitate culture. You were created to influence it. You were not designed to blend into darkness. You were designed to illuminate it. In Matthew, I said that you are the light of the world and the salt of the earth. Light does not argue with darkness. It simply shines. Salt does not shout. It simply preserves and flavors. Live differently. Love radically. Forgive quickly. Stand firmly in truth with gentleness in your heart. There will be crossroads where you must choose between comfort and calling. Comfort will always feel safer. It will whisper that you should settle, shrink, stay silent. Calling will stretch you. It will ask you to step onto water like Peter did when he walked toward me on the sea. Remember, He only began to sink when he shifted his focus from me to the storm. Keep your eyes on me, not on the waves of opinion, criticism, or fear. Purpose also requires endurance. There will be days when you feel tired of doing good, days when obedience feels heavy, days when the results seem invisible. But do not grow weary. Seeds take time to sprout. Fruit takes time to mature. Character takes time to form. Continue to sow kindness. Continue to pray. Continue to act with integrity. In due season, you will reap if you do not give up. Some of you carry dreams that were spoken over you years ago, prophetic words, promises, impressions I placed in your heart. And now you look at your current reality and think, it seems impossible. But I specialize in what appears impossible. I parted seas for Moses. I brought down giants before David. I opened prison doors for my servants. Do not measure your future by your present limitations. Measure it by my faithfulness. Your weaknesses do not disqualify you. They position you to depend on me. The world may tell you to hide your flaws, to present a polished image, to pretend you have it all together. But I work through surrendered hearts, not perfected performances. When you admit your need for me, my power flows more freely through you. I have also placed within you a burden for certain things. Perhaps it is injustice. Perhaps it is broken families. Perhaps it is lost souls. Perhaps it is creativity, worship, teaching, serving, building. Those burdens are clues to your assignment. What moves your heart often reveals what I have called you to influence. Do not ignore the holy stirring inside you, but guard your heart from comparison. Comparison steals joy and clouds vision. When you constantly measure yourself against others, you forget the unique path I have given you. I do not compare, my children. I do not rank destinies. Each calling is sacred. Each obedience matters. When you stand before me, I will not ask why you were not someone else. I will ask if you were faithful with what I entrusted to you. Some of you are in seasons of pruning. Things are being cut away, habits, relationships, mindsets. It feels painful, even confusing. But pruning is not punishment. It is preparation for greater fruitfulness. I remove what drains your strength so that you can flourish. Trust the process. What I cut away now makes room for growth later. You were created not only for individual purpose, but for community. I designed you to walk with others, to encourage and be encouraged, to sharpen and be sharpened. Do not isolate yourself in pride or shame. Seek godly fellowship. When you unite with others who pursue me, your strength multiplies. Purpose thrives in healthy connection. There will be moments when obedience requires courage. You may have to speak truth when silence would be easier. You may have to step out when staying put feels safer. You may have to forgive when resentment feels justified. But remember, courage is not the absence of fear. It is choosing trust over fear. I am with you in every step of bold obedience. When you fail, and there will be times when you stumble, run toward me, not away from me. Shame tries to push you into hiding, but I already know your struggles. I am not shocked by your weakness. I am moved by your repentance. I restore those who return to me. Your journey is not about flawless performance. It is about faithful pursuit. In Romans it is written that all things work together for good to those who love me and are called according to my purpose. All things. The victories and the disappointments. The open doors and the closed ones. The mountaintops and the valleys. I weave them together into a masterpiece you cannot yet fully see. Your story is still being written. Do not conclude it prematurely. Do not declare defeat when I have not declared it. What feels like an ending may be the beginning of a new chapter. What feels like loss may be the seed of transformation. And remember this above all. Your ultimate purpose is to know me and to make me known. Careers will change. Seasons will shift. Roles will evolve. But the core of your calling remains the same: to reflect my love, to embody my truth, to carry my presence wherever you go. Whether you stand before thousands or serve quietly in your home, your life can echo eternity. Lift your head, my child. The same breath that gave you life sustains you now. The same hand that formed you guides you still. I am not distant. I am not indifferent. I am intimately involved in the details of your journey. You were created for a purpose that transcends temporary circumstances. Walk forward with faith. Speak with conviction. Love with depth. Serve with humility. Dream with boldness. And when you feel uncertain, return to me. For I am the source of your calling and the strength for your path. As long as your heart beats and your lungs draw breath, I am not finished with you. Your purpose stands. Your calling remains. And I, your God, will complete the good work I began in you. My beloved child, lean in closer and listen with the ears of your heart, because what I am about to remind you of will steady your steps when the road feels uncertain. Your purpose is not fragile. It does not shatter when you face opposition. It does not disappear when you feel inadequate. It is anchored in me, and I am unshakable. There will be moments when your faith is tested, not because I delight in your struggle, but because testing reveals what is real and refines what is weak. Gold is purified by fire. Character is strengthened by challenge. When you walk through pressure, you are not being destroyed. You are being developed. The very thing that feels like it is breaking you is often building you into the person who can carry the weight of your calling. You sometimes pray for purpose, but resist the process. You ask for influence, but shrink from responsibility. You desire impact, but avoid discipline. Yet purpose and process are inseparable. The discipline you practice today becomes the platform you stand on tomorrow. The quiet choices you make when no one sees shape the public moments others will witness later. Nothing in your life is insignificant when surrendered to me. Do not fear growth. Growth stretches you beyond familiarity. It calls you into spaces you have never navigated before. But remember, I go before you. I am not sending you into unknown territory alone. I am the one who opens doors no one can shut and closes doors no one can open. What is meant for you will not be stolen by another. What I have written into your story cannot be erased by human opinion. Some of you are standing at the edge of change. You sense that I am shifting something: relationships, careers, environments, mindsets. Change feels unsettling because it removes the comfort of predictability. Yet, many times, change is the doorway to purpose. If I kept you in every familiar place, you would never step into the fullness of what I prepared. Trust me in transition. I am not uprooting you to harm you, but to replant you where you will flourish. There are also times when I ask you to stay where you are, even when it feels uncomfortable. Staying can be just as purposeful as going. Patience can be just as powerful as action. In a world that rushes, your willingness to wait on me is an act of deep trust. When you wait on me, you renew your strength. You gain clarity. You exchange anxiety for assurance. I want you to understand something profound. Your purpose is not only about what you accomplish, it is about what you reflect. When others encounter you, they should taste kindness, see integrity, feel compassion. Your character speaks louder than your achievements. Titles fade. Applause fades. But a life that mirrors my heart leaves an eternal imprint. In Proverbs it is written that when you trust in me with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, I will direct your paths. Notice that I did not promise to explain every step in advance. I promised direction. Direction implies movement. As you walk, I guide. As you trust, I reveal. There will be critics. There will be misunderstandings. Not everyone will understand your calling, because I did not give your vision to everyone. I placed it in you. Protect what I have entrusted to your heart. Share it with those who encourage your faith, not those who feed your doubt. Guard your peace. Guard your focus. Distraction is one of the enemy's most subtle weapons against purpose. At times, you will feel overwhelmed by the size of the need around you. The world's pain can seem vast and heavy. You may think, what difference can I make? But I never asked you to fix everything. I asked you to be faithful in what I place before you. When a boy offered 5 loaves and 2 fish in John, it seemed insufficient. Yet in my hands it multiplied and fed thousands. Offer me what you have, not what you lack. I am the multiplier. Some of you carry regret about lost years. You think you started too late. You think you missed your chance. But I am the redeemer of time. When you surrender your present to me, I restore what was wasted. I can accomplish in a short season what seemed impossible in many years. Do not let yesterday's delay rob you of today's obedience. Your purpose is also connected to perseverance and love. The world may grow cold, hearts may become hardened, but I call you to remain tender. Bitterness will choke purpose. Unforgiveness will cloud vision. Release what hurt you. Forgive as you have been forgiven. Freedom flows where grace is practiced. Do not be surprised if your purpose sometimes leads you into places of tension. Light entering darkness creates contrast. Truth entering confusion may create resistance. But stand firm with humility. You do not need to fight every battle. Some battles belong to me. Your role is obedience. Mine is outcome. And when you feel weary, come to me. I am not a distant commander. I am a present father. Rest in my presence. Pour out your frustration. Speak your fears honestly. I am not intimidated by your emotions. In my presence, you will find renewal. In my embrace, you will find strength to continue. There will come a day when you see clearly how your obedience affected others. The prayer you whispered for a friend. The encouragement you sent at the right moment. The integrity you chose when compromise was easier. Seeds you thought were unnoticed will have grown into trees of life in someone else's journey. Eternity will reveal what time concealed. Remember also that your identity is not your assignment. If a season ends and a role changes, you are not diminished. You are still my child. Your worth does not rise and fall with your productivity. You are loved because you are mine. From that secure love, purpose flows freely. Lift your eyes beyond temporary struggles. This life is a chapter in a much larger story. I am weaving eternity through your everyday moments. Nothing done in faith is wasted. Nothing surrendered to me is forgotten. So walk boldly, my child. When doubt whispers, answer it with truth. When fear rises, counter it with faith. When uncertainty clouds your mind, return to my promises. I am faithful to complete what I begin. I do not abandon my work halfway. And you, yes, you are my workmanship. You were created for a purpose that carries eternal weight. You were formed with intention, equipped with grace, sustained by my spirit. Keep going, keep trusting, keep loving, keep obeying. For the one who called you is faithful, and I will carry you all the way into the fullness of the destiny I designed just for you. My precious child, let these words settle deeply into your spirit, because I am speaking life over you even now. When the world grows loud and confusion tries to cloud your thoughts, return to this unchanging truth. You were created by me, for me, and through me, and nothing about your existence is without divine intention. There are seasons when you will feel like you are walking through a wilderness. The landscape around you may seem dry, progress may feel slow, and clarity may appear distant. But wilderness seasons are not wasted seasons. In the wilderness, distractions are stripped away. In the wilderness, you learn to depend on me daily. In the wilderness, your identity is purified from the need for approval and applause. Even my people were shaped in the wilderness before stepping into promise. Do not confuse silence with absence. When you do not hear immediate answers, it does not mean I am far. Often, I am doing my deepest work beneath the surface. Roots grow in silence. Foundations are laid underground. Just because you do not see movement does not mean there is no progress. I am always at work in you, even when you cannot perceive it. Your purpose is intertwined with courage. Courage does not always roar. Sometimes it whispers, "Try again tomorrow." Sometimes it says, "Speak truth gently." Sometimes it simply gets out of bed and chooses hope one more time. I see those quiet acts of bravery. They matter more than you realize. There will be moments when you feel unqualified for what I am asking you to do. You will see the size of the task and the smallness of your resources. But I have never required you to supply the power, only the obedience. When I called Gideon, he saw himself as the least in his family and the weakest in his tribe. Yet I called him mighty. I saw beyond his fear to the faith that would grow within him. I see beyond your hesitation to the strength I am building inside you. Sometimes your purpose will require you to stand alone. Not everyone will understand your convictions. Not everyone will support your decisions. But obedience to me will sometimes separate you from comfort. Remember Daniel, who stood firm in a foreign land, refusing to bow when others did. His faithfulness positioned him for influence that reached kings. Stand firm in what is right, even if you stand alone, because you are never truly alone. I am with you. Do not allow disappointment to harden your heart. When expectations are unmet and prayers seem delayed, it is easy to become guarded. But a guarded heart cannot fully embrace purpose. Stay soft toward me. Stay open. I understand your questions. I hold your tears, and I am faithful beyond what you can currently see. Your calling will stretch your faith. I will ask you to forgive when pride wants to retaliate. I will ask you to give when fear wants to withhold. I will ask you to trust when logic demands certainty. Faith is the bridge between where you are and where I am leading you. Each step of trust strengthens your spiritual muscles. You are also called to reflect hope in a generation burdened by despair. Many walk through life carrying silent pain, hidden anxieties, and unspoken loneliness. Your kindness may be the first glimpse of my love they encounter. Your patience may be the safe space someone desperately needs. Never underestimate the power of compassion. When you love others sincerely, you are fulfilling my heart. In Philippians, it is written that I who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Notice the certainty in that promise. I began the work. I sustain the work. I complete the work. Your responsibility is to remain available and surrendered. When you fall short, I lift you. When you grow tired, I strengthen you. When you feel lost, I guide you. There will be divine appointments along your path, moments orchestrated by my hand, conversations that seem ordinary but carry eternal significance, encounters that redirect your journey. Remain attentive. Walk prayerfully. Ask me each day to align your steps with my purpose, and I will. You may wonder how all the pieces of your life fit together. Your education, your background, your struggles, your talents. Trust that I waste nothing. The hardship you endured shaped empathy in you. The failure you experienced taught humility. The success you tasted revealed responsibility. I weave every thread into the tapestry of your destiny. Guard your thoughts carefully. The battlefield of purpose often begins in the mind. If you believe the lie that you are incapable, you will hesitate to step forward. If you believe the lie that you are alone, you will shrink from boldness. Replace those lies with truth. You are equipped. You are chosen. You are accompanied by my spirit. There will also be seasons of abundance, moments when doors open quickly, favor surrounds you, and fruit becomes visible. In those times, remain humble. Remember the source of your strength. Gratitude protects your heart from pride. Success is safest when surrendered. My child, do not fear the magnitude of your calling. I placed eternity in your heart for a reason. The longing you feel for significance, for impact, for something greater than yourself, that longing points back to me. I designed you to live beyond self-centered ambition. True fulfillment is found in alignment with my will. Keep your life rooted in love. Without love, even great accomplishments become hollow. Love me with all your heart, and love others as yourself. From that foundation, everything else flows rightly. And when the day comes that you look back over your journey, you will see my fingerprints everywhere. In the closed doors that redirected you, in the unexpected friendships that strengthened you, in the quiet whispers that guided you. You will realize that I was orchestrating more than you ever understood. Until that day, walk by faith. Breathe deeply of my peace. Silence the voice that tells you that you are behind, forgotten, or unworthy. Those voices do not come from me. You are my creation. You are my workmanship. You are my beloved child. I formed you with purpose, called you with intention, and sustained you with unfailing love. So rise again tomorrow with renewed confidence. Step forward, even if your steps feel small. Trust me, even when the path is unclear. Love boldly, serve faithfully, believe courageously. For I am the author of your beginning and the keeper of your destiny. And I will lead you day by day into the fullness of the purpose for which you were created. My beloved child, as these words settle into your heart, let this final truth anchor your soul. Your life is not random, your journey is not wasted, and your future is not uncertain in my hands. I am the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega, and the one who spoke light into darkness is the same one who breathed purpose into you. Before you took your first breath, I saw every step you would take. I knew every mountain you would climb and every valley you would walk through. I allowed nothing into your life without purpose. Even the pain that tried to define you, I am using to refine you. Even the delay that frustrated you, I am using to position you. Even the struggle that made you question yourself, I am using to strengthen you. Do not leave this message doubting who you are. You are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. You are chosen. In Jeremiah, I declared that before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. That knowing was not casual. It was intimate, intentional, filled with destiny. And in Ephesians, I revealed that you are my workmanship. A masterpiece does not create itself. It is carefully designed, skillfully crafted, and lovingly completed. That is who you are in my hands. When doubt whispers that you are ordinary, remember that I specialize in using ordinary vessels for extraordinary impact. When fear tells you that you are too small, remember that a mustard seed can move mountains. When the world pressures you to conform, remember that you were created to transform. You do not need to strive to prove your worth. You do not need to compete to secure your place. You do not need to panic about your future. I am already there. Your responsibility is simple. Trust me, walk with me, obey me, love me, reflect me. There will still be challenges. There will still be unknowns, but you no longer face them wondering if your life matters. It does, deeply, eternally, powerfully. One day, when you stand before me, you will see how every act of obedience echoed into eternity. Every time you chose faith over fear, every time you forgave instead of retaliated, every time you continued when quitting felt easier. Those moments built a legacy far greater than you realized. So lift your head, straighten your shoulders, quiet the voice of insecurity, silence comparison, release regret, step boldly into today. Because you were not created by accident. You were not placed here without assignment. You were not saved without intention. You were created for a purpose. And I, your God, am faithful to complete everything I have spoken over your life. Walk forward in peace. Walk forward in courage. Walk forward in confidence. I am with you. I am for you. And I will lead you all the way home.